discussing instruction set of 805 microprocessor. So under this topic we have discussed till now data transfer instructions, arithmetic instructions and logical instructions. And next set of instructions is branching instructions. Okay. So branching instructions in microprocessors are used to break the normal sequence of a program. These instructions are used to transfer control from one location to another location in the program. Okay. So to discuss the concept, I'm going to write a program example, that is generation of a waveform, okay, rectangular waveform. So we first write the program, then we will discuss it instruction wise. So first instruction is MVI, and next instruction is MVI. These are data transfer instructions we have already discussed in our previous set of instructions. MVI A comma 0. So first instruction will place value 10 in a register C. So I'm writing here 10 in decimal. Okay. The assembler will place its hexadecimal equivalent. So the output of this instruction will be C, register C is equal to 0, A in hexadecimal. Okay. Because I've written simply 10, so the assembler would consider this as a decimal to be placed in the register, target register. Okay. And the next instruction it will store 00 in accumulator. Okay. Now next instruction is a out. Say 50. The out instruction is also data transfer instruction. It is used to send a value to output port of address 52 in this case. So this instruction will send the contents of accumulator. Now in this particular example, the contents are 00. So 00 will be transferred to an output device of address 52H. Okay. So next instruction is MVI A, comma FFH. Okay, so this instruction we store a value FF in a register A. Okay, so the text which I am writing in red color are the comments. So these comments are not considered by the assembler, and the green part, these instructions are executed by the assembler. Okay. Next is out. And one thing that I need to mention here, that is one more instruction is call say delay. Then MVI A, comma FFH. Now out 52H, call delay, decrement. First I am writing the program, then we will discuss instruction wise. Decrement C, jump in not 0 to say label again. This is a label in the program, that is again, and then HLT. Okay, so let me run this part. So the objective of this program is to generate a waveform at output port of the microprocessor. Address of output port is 52. 52 is the address of the port of the microprocessor. Okay. So if you see this second line, so this line places 0, 0 in register A, and then next instruction is out 52. So its function is to send the contents of accumulator to output port of it as 52. Now register A is having 0, 0, so 0, 0 will be sent to the output port. Okay. Then call delay. A delay subroutine will be called. So delay subroutine I'm going to write next. So delay program will be called. The microprocessor will wait for some time period. Say the time period is one microsecond. Okay. So microprocessor waits for 1 microsecond. It means the value at output port remains low for 1 microsecond time period. इतने टाइम के लिए वैल्यू लो रहेगी. After that, FF is placed in a register A, then the FF value is sent to output port. Now high value is sent. FF means high value, 0, 0 means low value. Okay. So 0, 0 is sent first and the value remains low for 1 microsecond. Then this value becomes high. Now it becomes FF and it remains FF for another 1 microsecond time period. Okay, 1 microsecond. Okay. Now next is decrement C. Initially the C was 10, now it becomes 9. Jump if not 0. Its meaning is transfer the control to target label if the register is not 0. Now it is 9, it is not 0. The control will be transferred to this line, MBI. Again, the microprocessor will send 0, 0 value to the output port, and this will remain 0 for 1 microsecond, and then FF will be sent, and it remains high for next microsecond. Okay. So again, decrement C. Now, previously it was 9, now it will become 8. Again, it's not 0. The control will be transferred to this place. So in this way, a number of pulses will be generated at the output port of it as 52. You will see a signal like this. Now this program will be repeated. The loop will be executed how many times? Till the register C becomes 0. So since the value of C is 10, so 10 cycles of the waveform will be generated. So this is one cycle. Okay. One low and one high values, it completes one cycle. So 10 such cycles will be generated by the microprocessor. Okay. So now we can vary the time period of this waveform. We can vary the time period of this waveform by varying the delay generated by the delay subroutine. Okay. So now suppose the total time period of this waveform becomes 2 microseconds, and the frequency generated by the microprocessor will be 1/2 microseconds, which is 0.5 megahertz. So 0.5 megahertz frequency. So we can vary the frequency generated by the microprocessor at output port 52 by varying the delay generated by the delay program, and we can also vary the duty cycle of this waveform. Duty cycle is the ratio of on time period to the total time period, that is T on plus T off. Okay. So this is off time period and this is on time period and this is total time period. Okay. So now in this particular case, on time period is 1 microsecond divided by 1 microsecond plus 1 microsecond. Okay, one term that we can add here, that is into 100, because duty cycle is calculated in percentage. Okay, yes, kitni value आई students iski? What will be the value of this duty cycle in percentage? Okay, you have to multiply it with 100. Yes, students. What will be the duty cycle of this waveform? Yes, it will be 50%. Okay, and if we want to change the ratio of on time period to the total time period, we can use different delay programs here. For example, delay 1, delay 2 we can use. Okay, we can write different subroutines to generate waveforms of different duty cycles. For example, if we have generated delay 1, say 1 microsecond, and delay 2 if we have generated say 2 microsecond. Okay, then what will be the duty cycle of the generated waveform? See, the waveform, this waveform will remain low for 1 microsecond, and then will remain high for next 2 microseconds, and then low for 1 microsecond, high for 2 microseconds, and so on. So now this will be the total time period. That is 1 microsecond plus 2 microsecond. Okay. The duty cycle of the waveform is ratio of on time period, that is 2 microsecond, divided by on time period plus off time period. Yes, what will be the value in this case, students? Yes, students. Duty cycle 2 by 3 into 100. Okay, so you can write this term in percentage, say 66% or 67%, whatever it is. Okay, so you can vary it. Okay, anyways, so we were discussing the concept of branching instructions. Okay, so let me rub this part. So these calculations are not part of this topic, branching instructions. If you are asked to write a program to generate a waveform, particular time period or particular duty cycle, then you have to consider these calculations. Okay. Now we have to write a program, a sub-program, that is delay, of name delay. Okay. So we have a program. This program is called as subroutine. Okay. This is a subroutine. So suppose in this program, if I write M, Vi, say not A, let it be D comma, FFH, decrement D, then jump if not 0, to say back. Okay, wait. Let us write labels in different color. So this is label delay. This is label back. At this place also. Let us write the labels with blue color. Let us see the execution of this program. So the program execution will start from first line of this program. So this is main program. This is main program. Okay, this is one program main, and this is subroutine. Okay, so subroutines are called from generally main program. Okay, and subroutines can also be called from the subroutines. Okay, if I write here, say call, say delay 2. So delay 2 can be another program. It can be called from the subroutine itself. Okay. So now let us see the execution of the program line by line. So first is 10 will be placed in register C. Okay. Then 00 will be placed in accumulator. Then out 52H. 52H is the port address. So 00 will be sent to port 52. Then the next instruction is call delay. So now delay is the name of the program. It is label of the program. So call delay means it will call a subroutine. Means the control will be transferred to the subroutine of name delay. Okay. So now this call instruction, it will break the normal sequence of the program. Generally, the program is executed from top to down, first line, second line, third line, fourth line. Now this will break the sequence. So call delay means the control will be transferred to the delay subroutine. Now in the delay subroutine, the first line is M via D, 52. So it will place M via D, FF. So FF will be placed in D. Then decrement D, it will be decremented by 1. Jump if not 0. Now this instruction will check the latest register D. If it is not 0, the control will be transferred to the label back. Okay, means it will be control will be transferred to this line. Okay, again the normal execution sequence has been broken. The control is transferred to decrement D. Now D will be decremented by 1 again. So again jump if not 0, it will check the 0 flag. If it is not 0, means if the 0 flag is not set, the control will be transferred to decrement D. So in this way, this process, this loop is executed FF times. FF means 255 times it will be executed. FF is in hexadecimal, in decimal it is 255. So 255 times will be executed. After register D becomes 0, and the condition of 0 flag to be non-zero, 0 flag to be 1 remains, 0 flag to be 0 will remain wrong, and the control will be transferred to the next instruction. The next instruction is return. Return will be executed, and the function of the return is to transfer control back to the main program from where the subroutine was called. Okay. So now the microprocessor will execute an instruction next to the call. Means next instruction is MVI A,50 FF. Okay. So in our previous lectures we have discussed how stack memory plays a role while executing call instructions. Okay. So while executing call instruction, the microprocessor saves the next instruction stack memory. The contents of stack memory are called and are placed in the program counter, and the microprocessor starts executing next lines. Okay. Now again, microprocessor executes move A, FF. FF is placed in A. Out 52 means FF value will be sent to 52 address. Then call delay. Again, delay program will be called. It will be executed. Some delay will be generated. For example, execution of this. For example, execution of this subroutine needs 1 microsecond. As an example, okay, it can be more than 1 microsecond. So, call delay, the microprocessor will wait for 1 microsecond, and after 1 microsecond, the control is transferred to MVI A, FF. Okay, then 52. Then for another 1 microsecond, the microprocessor waits. Then, on execution of return, the control is transferred to the main program. Okay, so any subroutine can be called any number of times from the main program. Here in this program, the subroutine is being called 2 times, okay, and any further subroutine can be called from within the subroutine. Okay, for example, if I write call, say call delay 2 here, the control will be transferred to delay 2. Then after execution of delay 2, control will come back to this. Okay, so this is a different concept. Okay, so now you can see in this program, after coming back to the main program, the microprocessor will execute decrement C instruction. So since it was 10 first time, now it will become 9, and it's not 0 because the microprocessor checks for 0 flag. 0 flag कब set होएगा? When the register C becomes 0. Now it is not 0, the control will be transferred to label again. Now again is label in this case. Okay. So this process is repeated 10 times. Okay. Now you can note down the instructions in the program, in both the programs, which transfer control from one location to another location. Okay. So means which the instructions which break the normal sequence of the program. So those instructions are call. Okay. So call instruction transfer control to subroutine. Then the return instruction, it transfers the control back to the main program. Then another call instruction. Okay. And one more instruction, this program is jump if not 0. This also breaks the normal sequence. Means the instructions which break the normal sequence of program will be the branching instructions. Okay. Then jump if not 0. So these 5 instructions in both the programs are the branching instructions. Okay. So these instructions break the normal operation of the sequence. Okay. Yes students, आपको concept समझ आया इसमें? Do you have any doubt in this particular discussion?
सर
Yes.
सर J and Z बता दो.
Okay, J and Z बता देता हूँ. Okay, okay. Or any other doubt?
No sir.
Okay. So there are 2 types of branching instructions in microprocessor. Okay. First category is unconditional. Unconditional. And second category is of conditional branching instruction. Conditional and unconditional branching instructions. So unconditional branching instructions transfer the control to the target label without verifying any condition, without checking any condition. For example, call. So whenever call instruction is executed, call delay, the control will be transferred to the subroutine without checking any flag, without checking any condition. Okay. Return. So whenever return is executed, the control is transferred back to the main program without verifying any condition. Okay. But in the case jump if not 0, jump if not 0, so this instruction first of all verifies the 0 flag. Okay. Before jump if not 0, we have written decrement D. The D register is decremented if it is not 0. Whenever any arithmetic operation makes the register 0, then the 0 flag is set. 0 flag 1 means a particular register is 0. Okay. But decrement D is first time FF, then it will become FE, next time FD, FC, FB, FA, and so on. So during this period, the 0 flag will remain 0 because the register D is not 0, so 0 flag 0 रहेगा. So 0 flag 1 कब होएगा? When D becomes 0. Okay. So jump if not 0 instruction, it will check for 0 flag. If 0 flag is 0, 0 flag is 0, control will be transferred to the target label. Okay. And when 0 flag becomes 1, okay, the control will not be transferred to the target level, it will be transferred to the next line. Okay. तो ऐसे ये 0 flag पे depend करेगा, jump if 0. Okay. So there are other set of instructions are also there, like conditional call instruction, conditional return instruction. So let me switch to the 50 to discuss more number of instructions. So branching instructions, we have already discussed this concept, so let me read out the lines. The branching instructions alter the normal sequential flow, means normal execution of the program. These instructions alter either unconditionally or conditionally. Okay, so two types of branching instructions are there, conditional and unconditional. Further, branching instructions are of three types: jump instructions, call instructions, and return instructions. Okay, jump instructions, call instructions, and return instructions. So, jump instructions transfer the control within the program, within the same program. Okay, जो target location होएगी in case of branching, jump branching instructions, the target location will be within the same program. Like in our program that we have recently written, JNZ, the JNZ instruction transfer control in the same program, within the program. And call instruction used to call another program, means it is used to transfer control from one program to another program. So call instructions एक program से दूसरे program में control transfer करती हैं, and return instructions are used to transfer control back to the program where the subroutine was called. Okay, so this is the main difference. Further, in jump instruction, call instruction, return instruction, there are conditional and unconditional instructions. Okay, so jump instruction, in jump instruction, JMP, this is the unconditional instruction. So JMP, after this we write the 16-bit target address where the control is to be transferred. For example, JMP 2034H. 2034 is the target address where the control is to be transferred. So after execution of JMP 2034, the control will be transferred to the location 2034. Okay. So this is unconditional jump instruction. So this instruction transfer control to the target location without verifying any condition. Okay. JMP. The mnemonics is JMP. It is a 3-byte instruction. 3 byte means 1 byte for opcode and 2 byte for address 2034. 3-byte instruction. Then conditional branching instructions. So in this we have category different instructions. So we write JX. X is variable here. X vary होएगा. We can check different conditions. We have different flags which can be verified by these instructions. So it is JX 16-bit address. Example is jump if 0. Jump if 0. Now target is again 2034. Now this instruction will check first of all 0 flag. This will check for 0 flag. If 0 flag is 1, if 0 flag is 1, only then the control will be transferred to 2034. So this is a conditional instruction. So this instruction first of all will verify 0 flag. If 0 flag is 1, then the control will be transferred to the target address. Otherwise, instruction next to JX will be executed. Okay. So JX, X is the variable. So in place of X we can write 0 flag, carry flag, no carry. ये दोनों opposite है. Jump if carry, the instruction will transfer the control to the target location if carry flag is 1. Okay. Jump if no carry, this instruction will transfer the control to the target location if carry flag is 0. Okay. It depends upon our application, depends upon the situation whether we have to use jump if carry or jump if no carry. Okay. So in our lab tomorrow we will be making use of JC and JNC in sorting off a series, sorting off. Okay. So in this column only opcode is written, that is JX is written. X is variable, J remains same, X variable hai. In first is opcode, C is written in place of X, then J and C, jump if no carry, then jump if positive. It checks for sign flag. If sign flag is 0, the number remains positive. Okay. For 0 sign flag, the number is positive, and 1 sign flag, the number remains negative. Jump if positive. Jump if positive means if the sign flag is 0, then the control will be transferred to the target location. Then jump if minus. माइनस कब होएगा, एंड व्हेन द साइन फ्लैग विल बी 1, then the control will be transferred to the target location. So this is jump if positive, jump if minus, the negative, jump if 0. This will check for 0 flag. If 0 flag is 1, then the control will be transferred to the target location. Jump if not 0. This instruction will transfer the control to the target location if 0 flag is 0. Okay. The next is jump if parity even. It will check for parity flag. So parity flag means 1 for even parity. So this JPE instruction will transfer control to target location if parity is 1. Jump if odd, the instruction will transfer to the control to the target location if parity is 0. Okay. Yes, students, any doubt in this table you have? This is about conditional jump instructions. Yes, no doubt, students. Okay. Similarly, we have call instructions, unconditional call instruction. So it is simply CALL. Now, in this instruction, CALL is the mnemonics of the instruction. 2034 is the target address. So 2034 is the address of a subroutine. एक छोटा प्रोग्राम है जिसका एड्रेस 2034 है. The subroutine is being called from the main program or any other subroutine. Okay. So this instruction will transfer the control to the subroutine of starting at address 2034 without verifying any condition. Okay. So this call instruction will not verify any condition before transferring the control to the target location. Next is CX. This is conditional call instruction. Here again, in place of X, we can write any flag, any condition. So this instruction will transfer the control to the subroutine 2034 address is verified, if satisfied. Okay. Like this call 0. If 0 flag is 1, only then the control will be transferred to 2034. So this is conditional call instruction with 0 flag. Okay. So similarly, we can write call instructions for other flags like call if carry, call if no carry, call if parity, call if positive, call if minus, call if 0, call if not 0, call if parity even, call if parity odd. So the process is similar to the condition jump instructions. The difference is jump instructions transfer the control within the program and call instruction transfer the control in a different program. Return instruction, this is unconditional return instruction. If return is executed, then the control is transferred back to the program where the subroutine was called. Okay. So this is return. Then conditional return instruction. So in this, X means the condition. So it is RZ means return if 0 flag 1, return if 0. Similarly, other instructions are return if carry, return if no carry, return if positive, return if minus, return if 0, return if no 0, return if parity even, return if parity odd. So these are the conditional return instructions. So these instructions will have to satisfy certain condition written within the mnemonics before transferring control to the target location. We have RST instructions. So in RST instructions, these are also branching instructions used to transfer control to the target location. But in these instructions, the target address remains fixed. Okay. As in case of call instructions, the address remains variable. For example, CZ, yeah, CAL call 2034. Now in place of 2034, we can have say 2035, 4000, 5000. So this address is variable in case of call instruction. But in case of RST instructions, the address remains fixed. Okay. So we have instructions RST 0 to 7. So say RST 0, RST 1, RST 2, RST 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So target address for RST 0 will be 0000, RST 1 will be 0008, RST 2 will be 0010 and so on. So these addresses remain fixed. These are dedicated addresses to the RST. For example, in a program, in any program, if we have written say RST3, okay, in between the program, if we have written RST3, then the microprocessor will transfer control to 0018. So this this will be similar to call instruction. This will be similar to call instruction. So at 0018, 0018 is subroutine will be placed. So that subroutine will be called if RST3 is executed. After completing the subroutine, at the end we write a return instruction which will transfer control to the main program. Okay. So these are shortcut instructions having fixed target addresses. Okay. RSTs 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and up to 7. So these can also be called with the help of hardware interrupts. So that is a different topic. Okay, but since we are discussing instruction set, so we have to consider RSTs from instructions point of view. Okay. And another last set of instructions we are having is control instructions. So these are basically machine control instructions. These are used to control certain machine operations. Okay. Example is like NOP. NOP is no operation instruction. So sometimes in delay programs for fine tuning of the amount of delay generated by a delay program, we need these NOPs. These instructions, this NOP instruction, it does not perform any operation. This is used by the microprocessor to generate some minor delay. Say NOP, say one NOP say requires 1 microsecond. So NOP execution of one NOP will generate a delay of 1 microsecond. Okay. So these instructions, this NOP instruction is used to waste some time of the microprocessor. Okay. HLT, this is a halt instruction. This we write at the end of main program. So after completing the execution of the program, the microprocessor halts. This HLT halts the microprocessor. Further, no execution will be performed by the microprocessor till the microprocessor detects any hardware interrupt. Okay. On detection of hardware interrupt or on detection of reset signal, the microprocessor can perform any given task. So HLT is written at the end of the main program. Okay. Then DI is disable interrupt. So whenever microprocessor executes DI instruction, it will disable all the interrupts except trap, because trap is non-maskable interrupt. It cannot be masked. It cannot be disabled. So except trap, all the interrupts will be disabled with DI. Okay. So this is a single instruction which can disable all the interrupts. So EI enable interrupts. So it will enable all the interrupts. Okay. But trap, it remains enable always, so it is not required to re-enable the interrupt, but other all the interrupts will be enabled by the microprocessor or execution of EI. Okay. Then we have instructions remain same. First, let us consider same. So DI and EI, these instructions enable all the interrupts. Okay, like EI. EI enables all the 5 hardware interrupts. But suppose we need only say 2 or 3 interrupts. There are only 2 interrupts we need, and rest of the interrupts we want to disable. So that we can do with the help of sim interrupt, sim instruction. So sim instruction, on execution of sim instruction, it considers the contents of accumulator. So we store a value in accumulator according to this format. Like we want to mask interrupt say 5.5, we have to write 1 at this place. So if we write 1, 0, 1, 1 means masking. So 7.5 will be masked, 5.5 will be masked, and 6.5 means enabled. Okay. So after execution of EI, we execute same instruction. Same instruction works on this instruction. I'm not going to in detail of this instruction because we need a complete lecture to discuss same and RIM instructions. Okay. Since it is just case study in your syllabus, so I'm discussing from that point of view. Then RST, this bit RST 7.5, it is second bit which helps in resetting the interrupts. Then SDE serial data enable, it is used to enable the serial communication, and SOD serial of data. So if we want to send the information serially, the bit will be placed at this position. For example, we want to send one to the output device, so which is connected at SOD pin of the microprocessor. SOD and SID are two pins using serial communication. SID means serial in data, SOD means serial out data. If we want to send SOD one, so one will be placed at this place. यहाँ पे वन स्टोर कर दिया, and then sim is executed. The sim will transfer this bit to the SOD pin. Okay. पेन अगर आप देखोगे 40 पिन आते हैं, 40 पिन में से एक पेन है SOD, उस पेन पे 1 चला जाएगा. जैसे सेम एग्जीक्यूट होएगा, अगर आपने यहाँ 1 स्टोर करवाया तो वहाँ 1 चला जाएगा, अगर 0 स्टोर कराया तो then 0 will be transferred to the next line. So same instruction is used to mask some selective interrupts like 5.5, 6.5 and 7.5. REM instruction is used to read. REM means read interrupt mask. Read interrupt mask. SIM means set interrupt mask. Okay. So read is used to read. REM is used to read the status of the interrupts. Means how many interrupts are disabled, how many interrupts are masked. So it is we can read by using REM instruction. Okay. So after executing REM, we analyze the contents of accumulator. So if say the contents of accumulator are 1, 1, 0, it means 5.5, 6.5 interrupts are masked, and masked means disable. Masked means disable. So यहाँ पे 1 आएगा, so यहाँ पे 1 आ गया, यहाँ पे 1 आ गया, it means these two interrupts are masked. RST 5.5, 6.5 are masked, and 7.5 is enabled. Okay. Then some pending interrupts, if any, for example, microprocessor, suppose all the interrupts are enabled. Suppose all the interrupts are enabled. Enable होने के बाद suppose 3 interrupts इकट्ठी डिटेक्ट हो गई, माइक्रोप्रोसेसर तीनों इंटरप्ट इकट्ठी डिटेक्ट होगी, लेकिन सब रूटीन एक ही का एग्जीक्यूट होता है एट टाइम, तो उनमें से कौन सी इंटरप्ट का सब रूटीन एग्जीक्यूट हो चुका है, कौन सी पेंडिंग है, दैट वी कैन चेक फ्रॉम these bits I5, I6, I7 and so on. Okay. SID, this is used to receive data serially. Whatever information is available at pin SID of the microprocessor, the same will be stored at this place D7. Okay. अगर माइक्रोप्रोसेसर ने वहाँ 1 रिसीव किया तो यहाँ पे 1 आ जाएगा, अगर 0 रिसीव किया तो 0 आ जाएगा. Okay. So this is all about instruction set of the microprocessor. 805 microprocessor. So since in your syllabus